I just thought I would pop in here for a minute and just share a little bit what's on my heart, you know? And what I know is that we're all deeply traumatized by the events of the last year and a half. And then, you know, there were things that were even prior to that were creating, you know, trauma maybe for circles of people on the planet. But now, you know, in the last year and a half, as a global community, we've all been traumatized, right? And we're all experiencing it differently. We are. And that's only right, you know, that we would all experience it differently. We would all see it differently. How could we all see it one way? We are one united essence, united being, but in that oneness, the expression of our unique individualization is required in order for the oneness to be whole, for all aspects of the oneness to experience the infinite reality of life, right? So how could we all think the same thing or come to the same conclusion, or, you know, because we're all so unique. We're all so beautifully unique and so different, you know, and I see some places where we've moved away from honoring one another in our uniqueness, in our beauty, you know, and honoring another for maybe being curious about why it is that they feel this way or whatever, right? Where we meet up with people who are choosing different things. Like, people have chosen very different lifestyles from me, you know, and I don't judge it. I just look at it and I wonder about it, like, wow, what would inspire someone to make those choices for life, you know? Right? And so we're all individual essence that are all significant in the expansion of consciousness. So, with all that being said, which is quite a lot, we're all deeply traumatized. And there's a lot of information out there, and it's just really hard to disseminate what's real, you know, and so what everyone, I feel, is doing is they're doing the best that they can with what they know for themselves to be true, right? And that's not the same for everyone. There again, it's not the same for everyone. It's different. And so in this experience that we're all having together, you know, we're on the same ocean, we're just all in different boats. And what I want to do is I want to just bring you back to this place of remembering who you are. Right? Just remembering who you are. At the center of your being, who you are. How you came into this world. Where you came from. How you were born of love. And within you, the divine spark of the Creator, is the light of love essence. Within you, present, existing long before you even took physical form, within you, that light, that love, that eternal essence of your being. Right? And just coming back into that place of remembering who we are. Your divine essence. Right? And so as, like, it's kind of like being at the eye of the storm. So as, you know, like they have tornadoes, and the tornado and everything is swirling around, swirling. But if you can get right into the center, we can get right into the center of the tornado, it's absolutely still, perfectly quiet. And so then so when you feel like you're getting in those spaces, right? Right? When your response to your outer world has you feeling like that, just come back into the center of that funnel. Come back to the center of your being and connect to your heart. Connect to your heart and connect to the wisdom that is you, the divine wisdom that is you. Because every answer that you're seeking, and every question that you have about what's going on in the world and all of this, you can get answers. You know, people will give you answers. They'll readily give you answers out there in the world. Everybody has an answer for you, right? So there's a lot of answers out there. However, you have to be able to find the answer that resonates with this, with your true essence, with who you are. You know, and so I learned early on to trust my divine guidance, to trust my instinct, to trust my gut, you know. And so like when my gut would tell me something and I didn't listen to it, there were consequences that I had to experience, you know. And I learned a lot through those lessons. In fact, I didn't learn the lesson really, you know, quickly. I'm 60, so I didn't learn it really soon, you know, in my life. So I didn't get it in my 40s or whatever. In my 50s, I finally got it, you know, and it changed everything for me, right? That lesson changed everything for me. And so when you get it, when you get that the wisdom is inside of you, and you trust your gut, because your gut's not lying to you. Follow that, whatever that is. It doesn't matter what everybody else is saying. Follow that. Follow that. And people might be blah, 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 all this and that. Stay here. Stay connected to your own moral compass, your own guide. You know, and also know that you don't have to defend why it is that you feel the way that you do, because many times people really aren't interested in understanding how you feel, right? They're just trying to find loopholes or whatever and trying to poke apart your position or whatever so that they can present to you theirs. And it's just the way that humans are. It's just what we do to each other, you know. But if you know these things are happening, you can kind of pay attention. So in the storm, as everything is swirling around so fast, and I'm just here to say, I don't know, because I don't know anything. Like, you know, like, really, you know, like, how can I know that that's true? I love to ask myself that question. Like Byron Katie, she asks you, you know, like a belief that you have, a thought that you have, like, you know, okay, so you believe this. Well, do you know that's true? Well, yeah, I know. Wait, you know, yeah, of course it's true. Do you really know it's true? I mean, do you really, really know it's true? Do you really, really know it's true? Do you really know it's true? Then you kind of start like, do I really know this is true? Like taking a look at my sources of information and do I really know that that's true? Do I really, really, really know that that's true? Right? And then I love this question too, because this is probably the most powerful one. This is the one where it just kind of unhooks you from all of this. And it's like, who would you be without that question? Who would you be without that question? That's a great question. Right? So then we have to re-examine our beliefs, and can we say, do we really? Because I don't know. You know, I don't know what's good for anybody else. I swear I don't. I don't know what's better for you. I don't. If I tried to tell you what I thought was better for you, I'd be lying. Because I don't know. I'm here on my own journey figuring out what, for me, if I get distracted and I start telling people what to do or what they should be doing, I mean, it comes down to even my own kids. I don't even do it with my own kids. Because I believe that we're all here on a sacred journey of self-discovery. I believe that we are all free to make choices on our own behalf, you know, like what it is. And I'm speaking about freedom. That's all I'm speaking about. And it is so interesting to me that I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen next. We're walking in the great mystery. We're walking in the great unknown. Nobody knows, you know? And I think the ones who do know, they're not really telling us what they know. I don't think that there's been an absolute level of transparency about many things in our world. Many, anything, you know. So I have to come back to this all the time, right? That's what I've been doing. I just like, ooh, Pooki, just go down, get down in it, right? Right? Come back to myself, come back to my heart. Remember who I am. Remember why I'm here, why I came here. You know, and when it starts getting really crazy out there, it's easy to forget. And wow, you know, and here's the other thing, people. Oh my gosh, love one another, love each other. Ooh. Kindness, please. Do not disrespect others, please. You know, it's okay not to see things the way others see them. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, you know, I do believe that there are other solutions. I think that that there's just not one solution to a problem, that there are multiple. I think that there are many ways in which something can be done. You know, and I don't necessarily believe that, you know, some of the things that we've been doing have been very effective. That's my only question is, can you show me where this is really effective? And I don't see where it is. You know, and so I'm just asking questions. And I'm just listening to myself right now. And I'm honoring my gut, my knowing. I'll tell you, when I have not listened to that in the past, I have paid deeply a price. You know, and I think that even by following it, I will pay a price. You know, I think that that's, you know, and then so what is it? What is it that I'm willing to pay the price for? Yeah. Nina says, I often say I don't know anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know who I am. Like really, like who, like people say, well, who are you? What, I can tell you what I do. You know, what I know is that I am an expression of divine love. That's what I know. That's really all I know. That's all I know. I don't know anything beyond that. You know, and that's what I'm here to do, is to express love and to help people remember who they are and that you're loved too. You know, and if you find yourself acting in unloving ways, come back to remembering who you are and be love in the world right now, because love it's the healer. It's what will bring us back to ourselves again and to each other. You know, they say that in a calamity, like in a disaster, in a natural disaster, that humanity, that we come together and we put aside our differences and we come together and we help. We help one another. If we were left to our own devices, we would come to each other's aid. We are naturally made that way. This way in which humans are behaving with one another right now is not natural. This is not natural. This is contrived. We must return to love. We must return to honoring each other. Oh, wow, it's just so much. It's so much. So, just be in love. If something is triggering you, ask yourself, why am I getting triggered about this? What in me is responding, reacting to this in such a way. How come I am so resistant to this thought or this idea? You know, and it's just that. But more than anything, pay attention to this. Pay attention to this. Just to, you know, like, so if you can't sit with it for 20 minutes or an hour, which is the best thing that you could do for yourself, is that just jump in and just acknowledge that space within you, that the infinite all-knowing, because the all-knowing that you're looking for exists within you, right? This experience, this conscious, right? Conscious isn't always necessarily aware of that. That's why we have to like kind of ask, you know, like have to be in a position of receiving that information, of getting quiet and kind of shutting down the chatter of the world, the chatter of the mind, shutting it all down and listening to the voice of our inner wisdom, our divine essence, listening for that voice, because it's getting pounded out right now. It's getting plummeted by all of this information that's just, you know, so there's just so much. So find that space within yourself where you can drop into this essence of your peace, where you can drop into that space of peace, being peace inside of your heart, peace in your being, peace in every cell of your body, peace in your muscular structure, your cellular structure, your cardiac, your vascular, right? Your brain, peace. Imagine it like water just pouring all over you. You know, like when you're in the shower, imagine that water is just like peace pouring over your body. Peace. Returning to love. We are experiencing the greatest awakening. Well, I know certainly in our lifetime, so we can definitely say that, right? But there's so much that's happening, and it's such a transformational moment. And there's a lot that it's just shaking everything up. And so when everything gets shaken, just kind of just come back into this. Let's come back into that space of, where's my center? Where can I find balance? How can I sit in this space without losing myself? Without disconnecting my heart. Keep your heart connected. Stay in love. Honor and respect. I don't know what's best for you. I don't. I would never say I knew. I can only point to things that work for me, and maybe something in that might be of assistance to you. That's it, you know. And so I share this with you because I send infinite love to everyone, because we're all deeply traumatized right now by all of this. You know, not only here in the United States, but all over the world, many things are happening. A lot of it we're not aware of because our media is being suppressed. It just is, I know. Some of you don't want to believe that. And that's okay. But ask yourself, why would you not want to believe that? Why would you not want to believe that your media is being suppressed? And then just, you know, self-inquiry is so important right now, right? Because then you really, truly come to know yourself. And during this time of COVID, I've come to know myself very, 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 very well. And I went through a really dark time, right? And so I feel like, you know, this is a lot of the collective, a lot of the we're feeling the shadow self of the collective consciousness, the shadow self of, right? It's here, and rightly so, because, you know, how I mean, everything has the right to exist in a world of infinite freedom. Everything has the right to exist. It's a hard one for people to get. It's a really hard one, right? When you understand it, though, then you can begin to see that how everything is working together. And let us not lose sight. The divine plan is unfolding perfectly. Let us not lose sight of this. And so, for me, I say, this just looks like a total shit show. And the divine plan is unfolding perfectly. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know the divine plan is unfolding perfectly. That's right where I'm sitting. Absolutely. So I'm sitting in, trusting my inner guidance, trusting my gut, sitting in that place, listening. Being more focused on listening to what this is saying versus what this is saying. And a lot of people are more focused on what is being said out there in the world than what this is saying. All right, so spending time in that of listening to this, especially when this gets really loud, and it got really loud. Right? So I saw things that I wasn't expecting, and surprise. Right? Guess what? It's going to be full of surprises. This journey forward is going to be full of surprises. You're going to be surprised. How are you going to handle those surprises? So if we can get centered and anchored right now in the truth of who we are and our ability to radiate love and joy into the world and to hold our center, to stay connected to our heart, right? We're going to be able to navigate this in a beautiful way, and we're going to be holding a space of the vision of what is emerging, right? And sometimes structures have to fall. They have to fall in order for something new to emerge. We've seen it over and over again. And I just want to say that what we're observing right now in our world, in many ways, is nothing new. The players have changed, the locations have changed, the dates have changed, but it's still the same old cyclic. Been doing this for centuries. So right now, it's time. Many of us think it's time to stop, to break this cycle, right? Of doing this one more time, right? One more time. Some of us here think that, no. This cycle here, this injustice, shall we say, needs to, that cycle needs to break. So there really is nothing new under the sun. It's just, can you see it? And history is showing it to you. You can look at history and you can kind of see how this cycle is reoccurring. And it's with all things. Just look at our planet, right? How we cycle around the sun, right? And just look at all of that. It's just, everything is in a cycle. Everything is orbiting, so, and it's all divinely perfect. So as you go out into the world today, I want to ask you to just ask yourself, how can I be a better lover? How can I be a better lover today? Right? And see if you are willing to sit in a curious state of being with another person who has a difference of opinion, and see if you can just sit with that person and just actually be with them and hear them, and not be trying to figure out where their theory or their thoughts are wrong. Because let me just tell you this, their thoughts are not wrong for them. They're not. They're not wrong for them. They are perfect for them. Their thoughts might be wrong for you, though, and that's okay. You have your own thoughts. Right? But you can still be curious about, wow, how does somebody, who would want to live on the boat, and who would want to live on a boat their whole life and fish in the ocean? It's not anything I ever wanted to do, but I can at least be curious about it. Or let's even get to something that's a little bit more real for me, like spirituality. Like, You know, why do some people follow that path rather than judging it or whatever, right? Can we become curious about our differences rather than condemning one another because of them? You know, this is the real thing. So, you know, we're really being called to love right now. Honest to God, I think it's so true. We're being called to love right now. I do believe that that's what this is all about. This is where you get to know, are you a loving being? Is your base frequency a vibration of love, right? And so, and that's defined for you however you want to define it. Absolutely. Because you know what? Even the definition of love isn't the same for everyone. You know, it's not. Love means something different to everyone. And so when someone says they love you, you might want to ask them, well, what does that mean? And I mean not like in a, but what does love mean to you? Because I'd be curious. Because we use these words all the time, and we assume, here's the other thing, we assume that the person using the word is using it with the definition that we have. That's a really wrong assumption. That gets us down a crazy slope, a slippery slope, right? You know, I can remember I can just remember where these things like, you know, friend or sister, or what does that mean to you? Like, if you call me your sister, then what does that mean to you? What makes that different? You know, how? And then two, pay attention. It's also crazy. Labels, right? Right? When we begin to label things, we begin to separate things out. Like, oh, this is that and not that. Oh, this is that and not that. Oh, this is that and not that. And do you realize that if you remove the labels from everything, see, this is what we have to come back to, the realization that we're all one, that this is all one. If you were to remove the labels from everything, what you would find is that everything would vibrate back into light. Or, at least that was my experience, because I've done it a number of times. I've actually had it happen to me in meditation. And then I've actually had it happen to me just like sitting and having a contemplative thought, like looking around my room and just like, wow, I wonder if I unnamed that thing, what would happen? You know, and once I unnamed it, once I took the label off of it, it started vibrating, right? Recently, I did this meditation. I'm in this meditation workshop right now because I think it's so important for us to come back to the center of ourselves right now. So I'm doing this 1 month meditation retreat because I'm taking care of myself, and I realize that, whoa, with everything that's going on in the world, I need to have a place where I can center and anchor and come back to myself. And this was an opportunity for me not to only do it, you know, but also to be able to be in a shared community of others that were doing the same thing and being able to have conversations about, you know, the importance of coming to self. So just coming back, just always coming back to the center of our being and remembering who we are, right? And meditation is so important, like coming to that center, finding that quiet space. It's so important right now because it's so easy for us to forget. So easy. And, you know, life is beautiful. Ryan, I love you. Thank you so much. I love you. I love everyone who shared on my posts. I think that it was a great opportunity for all of us. It was certainly a blessing for me to bear witness to, you know, the trauma that we're all experiencing. And you know, everybody's doing the best they can. Honest to God, I believe it. And, you know, we just, you know, so it's just don't be mean to each other. Please. Just don't do it. Just come back to love. If you're being mean and you're being really angry, I want you to think about that. Just think about it. Don't be mean. Don't call people names. It's not nice. You know? I see it. No. So pay attention. Pay attention to the places where you're taking your heart away from people. Pay attention where you're labeling people and separating people. Pay attention. You know, we're fighting for human rights for African Americans, people all over the world. These are human rights. Pay attention. These are human rights. They're human rights. And it's so important right now to be love and to remember who you are. You are love. You've come through it, this most important time of conscious transformation. Consciousness, the evolution of consciousness beyond the body. And love is so important right now because so many people are hurt. And so many people are afraid, and I get it. Because there's a part inside of us that wants to know, or that feels like that we don't know, you know, or wants to know, or we just want somebody to give us answers that feel like they're true. But please, don't hurt each other out there. Don't be mean. This is hard on all of us. We're all feeling it. And just love people. Everybody's doing the best they can. And just remember who you are. You know, and find places where you can express your feelings, you know, and not feel attacked or whatever, because there's a lot of that going on. I think it's really important for us to be able to have conversations about these things. And they, for whatever reason, they don't seem really possible on these platforms. But what I do know is that I love you. And I do know that we're all just doing the best that we can. And I'm just here saying, if you're struggling, if you're really having a hard time, just remember, come back to the center of your own being. Remember who you are, that you are love. That you are light. You're here to be love and light at this time on our planet, and it's probably one of the hardest things to do right now. But do it anyway. Do it anyway. Love people anyway. Don't judge them. Stay strong. Stay strong in your heart. Don't cast anyone out. Do not cast anyone out of your heart. I am remembering who I am, why I came, why I'm here. I am love. I am remembering who you are, why you came, why you're here. You are love. We 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 are love. You know, when these things come up, right, for you, like these emotions, it's important to feel them fully, right? And to just be with it. And I am deeply sad for what's happening in our world right now. I am. I'm deeply sad about it. And the only thing that I know to do is just to love love people. So many blessings to you. Stay strong, my beloveds. Just realize that you matter. Your love is so important right now. So important right now. It's the most important thing right now, is that you walk in the world in a loving way. So important. No judgment. No dividing. Just loving. Just loving. And it's going to be hard. Because for some reason right now, we're just in a very immature expression of emotion in our social complexes. You know, there's a lot of very immature expressions, you know, people just responding very, you know, it's just, but it is really just all the best that we know. But for those of you that really feel that you're called here on this planet to be an expression of love and light in the world, this is your time now. This is it. This is time to activate that love, that light, that accepting of all beings, that opening, welcoming space where everyone is safe, held within your heart, right? And that you walk in the world in this way, in love and compassion, you know. And so I love you. I love you, Jessica. I love you, Patricia. I love you, Lena. I love you. I love each one of you. And it's really, really beautiful being able to be here. I love you, Brooke, too. Because now it's so important, right? So just be loving, just be kind. Activate from your heart center. If it gets a little overwhelming and loud out there, just come back to the self. Remember who you are. You're an eternal being of love and light. You've come to this planet to express that into the world. Now is the time of that dynamic expression, right? And now is the time to shine your light, to love harder than you've ever loved before, to take down all the walls of your own limited ideas of what love is, to be able to take down all the barriers to where you are not loving another, and take those walls down and begin to actually live your life as an expression of love walking in this world. That's what we need now more than ever. People are so traumatized. They're traumatized. And when we're traumatized, we behave in ways that are unlike us. So when you're observing the behaviors of people out there, realize that those behaviors are not who they are. They're just a response to the world they're experiencing from their perception of how to experience the world, right? So it's not who they are. So when you see people not being nice and it's not who they are. They're just triggered. They're just in a trauma response mode, right? And so have compassion for them. When you see somebody losing it, just breathe into them, right? That's that peace, right? Because it's so much, right? And so it's so important to have that ability to focus your center, bring back into the center of your being, connect with your divinity, get to the place of your inner wisdom, of your silence, of the peace within you, that place where you're balanced, that place where you're holding, right? You're holding the dark and the light. You're holding it all, right? Because it's all happening. You cannot deny that this is happening and only look to this. It's all happening. So you have to accept the fact that it's all happening, and then you have to sit in the middle of it, holding love for everything that's coming through, right? We're not denying this. We're not denying this. We're saying, yes, it's all happening. And how do I sit in the center of all of this and radiate my love and my light into the world? How do I do that? How do I do? Well, you come back to your heart. You come back to your heart. You come back to the center of your being, this place where your heart is being boom, 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 right? And here's this, and right, it's all happening. It's all around you. You come back to the heart, and you just anchor and focus your attention here on the heart. And you then center into your heart, and then in that place for yourself, just for yourself. Nothing in the outer world is going to change, but for yourself, you're going to find peace. Peace is going to begin to descend upon you like a warm, warm blanket, filling your body with this peace, right? As everything, nothing's going to change out here. It's all still going to be the same. But what's going to change is you. You're going to change. You're going to come back to your heart. You're going to come back to your heart. You're going to come back to that expression of love. You're going to be love and light in the world. And it is so at this time right now, because everybody's so traumatized, there's such a fear state that's happening in our world that it is very difficult to hold that, right? That light, that love in the world right now. You know? And do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. And then find out all of the places in yourself where you're obstructed to love, right? Where you're cutting yourself off from love, and release those. Get those out. Open yourself up to love. Loving it all. Love it all. Like from here. Loving it doesn't condone it. Doesn't mean that I say that that's okay that that's happening, right? I'm not saying that I agree or that this is okay or that this should be happening or anything. Loving it is just loving being, because I am love. I cannot do anything other than love. Love. I can't do anything other than. That's my frequency. If I try to deny something, my love, I am out of alignment with my personal being, my code that I came in here. So that might not be your code, though, and that's okay, right? But for those of you that feel that you've come in here to be love and light, and I know that there are some out there, wow, now is the time. Get it, right? And you may be persecuted, you may be blah, 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 blah. Who cares? The most important thing is that you shine your light. You love people. You radically love people. radical love. Radical. You love yourself in the process, right? And so this is how we're here. Yeah. So, if you want to send me a little, you want to make a comment in here about where you're at as far as like expressing being in love. Are you do you feel like you're in alignment with me? Are you a love and light person? Do you feel like that's what you came in here, you're called here to do? Connect with me. Let's create something together, right? So, and not everybody's here to do that, but if you are, let's create like a circle or something where we can amplify this love and light into the world, because it's needed now more than ever. And I'm so open and available to that. I would love to do that. Love to do that. Nina, Maureen, oh yeah, so good to see you. Andy, yes, so much goodness. So much goodness. Amanita, so great. So great. Who else was here? Zachary, I love Zachary Allen. Ryan Marquez, yes. And all of you guys have just been, Angela, it's just been an amazing, so I've had a real deep experience in the last 48 hours. It was very, very interesting to navigate these waters. And, it's a beautiful process. And I am, even now, even deeper committed to activating love more in the world and being an expression of light. And I'm not here for everybody. So if this message doesn't resonate with you, or if you're not down with what I'm about, that's okay. Because, there are people on the planet that are totally in your vibe zone. Totally. And that's okay too, And I think that, that's just the truth of it. It's all good, right? And so we just carry on and love. And I'll check into the feed here to see if you guys are interested in. Yeah, I love that idea. Jessica. I love it. All right, and I'm open to doing like a Zoom call or something like that for those of you that I'm not close to in proximity. Yeah, if you just want to, because we can amplify love from wherever we are. Right? It doesn't matter. It's just that powerful. So I love you. My whole heart is just loving you. And you know what? This has been such great medicine for me today, because I felt so, I felt so much inside of me, and I was just like, wow. And, I was trying to find a way to express it, and trying to find a place where I felt like, okay, I'm feeling within myself, like, all right. And so this was just great. So this was a great opportunity for me to really connect deeply to where I'm at. It revealed to me some things for myself. And I'm so grateful for that. And so thank you, everyone who's been here holding space for me in this process. And we're all in this together. We really are. We might be experiencing it all differently and seeing it from many different perspectives, but we're all in this together. And so let's the one thing that we can do is we can be love, right? We can be love. And love is unconditional. Love is radical acceptance of others and of self. And if we can do that, we can get through anything. We can get through anything. We are at our core, regardless of what we've been told, we were born into love. We were born into love. Not sin. Love. Love. Born into love. So, blessings, blessings, blessings to you on your sacred journey. So much love to you. To you. And those that you love, so much love for everything that you're going through right now. I know that it's hard. Do your best to be love in the world. How can you be a better lover today? Do your best to not push people out of your heart. Don't, if you see where you've pushed people out of your heart, see if you can take those walls down, just for yourself, just relaxing, and just really, because it's easy to get taken out. You know, it's so easy. It's so easy because everything's so loud right now. You know, like how have you ever been in one of those concerts where the music is so loud you just can't even think? So that's kind of like what it is like right now out there. It's so loud, right? So you got to step back, step back, step back, get away from, right? And how we do that, we step back, and we come back into the center of our being, and we rest there. We find peace in our balance, and we acknowledge that, yes, this is all happening. And then how is it that I can be a grander expression of love in the world as I see all of this happening and remain true to myself, right? So, yeah. So good to see you here, Lena. I hope everything's good for you in Texas. Yeah, and yeah, just so many things around the world. All right. I'm going to say goodbye now. Just love people. Just love people. Just love them. Just love them. That's what they all need. Everyone needs it so much. We can do it. You can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do this. We came here to do this. I love you. Be loved. Be loved. Beloved. Thank you for receiving me. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.